Hey everyone, and welcome back to Beauty by Violett. And I'm back with part 2 of becoming a makeup artist, and I'm shooting my treatment room today because it's spring break and my house is totally overrun with kids. So what we're gonna try to cover first is opening your business. And as a makeup artist, you're in business for yourself. So basically from this day forward, you will want to save all of the receipts for everything that you buy having to do with your business. And that means everything that you bought for your kit too. So what kind of makes it easier is if you keep like either an envelope, or what I keep I guess is a little it's a little coupon holder in my purse, and then every receipt you get, just put it right in there. And then at the end of the week, take the receipts out and put it in a file folder for that month in your office. And then at the end of the month, then you can take those receipts out and enter them into a spreadsheet, and just have different tabs on the spreadsheet for, you know, makeup, supplies, equipment, things like that. And then at the end of the year, you can total up your spreadsheets and print them out, give them to your accountant, and basically make it his problem. So you'll also want to write down your mileage right away. It's easier to, you know, there's two different ways of doing it. You can keep track of your mileage, or you can just write your mileage down at the beginning of the year and at the end, and then depreciate your vehicle. So you'll want to think of a business name right away, and you know, in order to get all of the great write-offs as a business owner does, you know, are going to have to basically show that this is a business and it's not your personal expenses, it's your business expenses, and that the money that you're making isn't your personal money, it's the business money. You need to have a business name in order to do a lot of the things that we're going to talk about. You're going to need it for your bank account, for your website, for your business cards, for any contracts or, you know, brochures, anything you make. So what you want to do is come up with a business name, and a good way to do it is to think of, you know, 2 or 3 that you really like, and starting with the one that you like the most, go on to your state's Secretary of State website, and in there you can search company names to see if that one is available. And if it is, you'll also want to go online and see if that domain is available. And those are 2 things that you just want to make sure of first, because you don't want to find that out later and not be able to have a website with your name on it, or have that business name that you thought you were going to have. So once you figure out what name that you're going to be using and what one's available, you're going to want to file that business name at the same website, the Secretary of State. And usually it's about $50, and nowadays most of them are like electronically like automated, so that they'll send you the certificate of assumed name right by email. And that certificate is what you'll need to open a bank account in that name. And you need to have that because you can't accept payments under your business name until you have that set up. So you're going to go to the bank and you're going to take your certificate of assumed name with you and open the bank account in your business name. The next thing you'll need, and I'm doing this in a certain order because, you know, you can't order business cards until you have a business name, and you can't, you know, order business cards until you have a website address. So the next thing you're going to want to do is work on getting a website. And I guess I would suggest GoDaddy because it's inexpensive, it's a very small cost per month, and it comes with a website builder that is really easy to use. You don't have to be technical at all. There's templates all set up for you, and it's really user friendly. So what you're going to do is, and I'll put the links and stuff on my blog, but you can go to GoDaddy, and then they have domains that are .com domains that you can get for $9.99 a month. Now at this point you don't want to sign any long contracts with anyone until you're sure that your business is going to work for you and that it makes sense. You're not going to want to sign any contracts. So just sign up for the monthly. It's $9.99 a month. And then you end up getting unlimited pages with that website, and you get up to 5 email addresses. So if you want to have like an info@beckysmakeup.com or becky@beckysmakeup.com, you can set up different ones. And the website builder is, I believe it's $4.99 a month. So, I mean, your website is going to be less than 20 bucks a month, and I think that's pretty reasonable for a startup business. But then again, you're not signing any contracts, so you can cancel at any time. The website builder is, you know, the one it's going to have the templates and the wizard, and it's going to make things super easy for you. What you'll need as far as pages is just going to be like a home page, an about page, a portfolio page, services, and contact. I would recommend possibly putting your resume in there too. It just looks more professional if you can send links when you're applying for jobs that is going to say, hello, I have not only the resume you asked for, but a website, so I take this seriously. So the next thing you'll want to do is deal with your social networks. Social networks, it might not be a big deal at first, but eventually it will. You'll be getting people on your Facebook and your Twitter, you know, all over, asking you questions about your services or hiring you right off of there. So you want to set up your Facebook page for your business right away, and then also set up like a Twitter account, and we'll talk more about marketing later on. But basically, these are cheap ways to advertise, sometimes free. And with Twitter, actually 75% of the traffic doesn't even come from Twitter users. Search engines will actually pick up different tweets that people make on there, and especially businesses. And if somebody's searching for something, it'll just serve that up to that person, even though it came from Twitter. They don't even know. Business cards. Once you have a company name and you have a company website and email, then you're ready to get your business cards. And business cards are going to be really important, because from here on out, anyone that you talk to, you need to give them your business card. And it doesn't matter if, you know, it's your aunt. Like, I have this business now, here's a few business cards. You know, if somebody talks to them about makeup, they can hand out your business card. And, you know, give your friends and family, you know, several business cards to hand out, and keep your business cards with you at all times and in your kit. So a good place to start, like, getting your business cards for inexpensively is Vistaprint. And on there, you can get free business cards, and you just got to pay for the shipping. If you want something extra, like if you want them to be glossy because they're just matte otherwise, or if you want them on special paper, it costs a little bit more. But your business card is what's going to represent you, and you want it to be something like noticeable in somebody's wallet. Okay, office supplies. You're going to need to get a few items from like Office Max and different places, and you know, you want to keep this inexpensive too. So you're going to need, you know, paper if you don't already have that, you know, printing paper, file folders. You're going to need those for your customers. You're also going to need those for keeping your receipts. And then envelopes. And the envelopes, you're going to use that to send out contracts. And a leather 3-ring presentation binder. Now, you can go online and find like portfolios, like physical portfolios. They're going to be really expensive. Or even a really professional or nice looking leather photo album is really expensive. So what I would suggest instead is just going and getting a 3-ring presentation binder. And they have ones that are actually leather, and they're like $8 or something. And then just buy sheet protectors, and that's what you're going to use to make your portfolio. It's going to look really professional, but you're not going to have spent like $50 like a portfolio actually costs if you buy it all put together online. You're also going to need a date book, and your date book you're going to obviously use to put down all of your appointments, but you're also going to use it to keep track of phone calls to your networking partners, or phone calls to brides. high quality camera. Now, if you don't already have one, I would suggest right away getting one. When you're doing makeup on someone and you want to use their photo for your portfolio, you're not going to want to put a low quality picture in your portfolio or on your website. It's just going to look ghetto. So get a high quality camera. Building your documents. You're going to need documents like right away. Here's what you're going to need to make, and I will put links, or I'll show you some sort of an example. So what your contract is going to have on it, is going to be the person's information, of course, the date of the event, the type of the event, and then if anybody else is getting their makeup done. And it basically is going to set forth the terms of the contract. And when you first start out, I would at least be asking for a deposit of 25%. That is, of course, going to be something that determines whether they go with you or not. So I would start at 25% after you're more established. I know I ask for 50%, and I do not even do the trial without the deposit. Otherwise, you could end up doing makeup for free, and that would be no fun. You also want to decide when your balance is going to be due. Start out with it being due like at the day of the event. Once you're more established, then you can require it 2 weeks before. And brides are really busy on their day, and it's really uncomfortable to remind them that they need to make a payment while they're like getting into their dress and getting ready to go to the photographer, and then they have to run around and find their purse, and it's really uncomfortable. And it can be even more uncomfortable if they have to find different bridesmaids or flower girls' mothers to pay. So I try to stay away from doing that just because it's really uncomfortable and weird the day of. Your resume. When you apply for a job, they're going to typically ask you for 3 things. They're going to ask you for your portfolio, your resume, and your prices. So since you have not actually done any jobs, you are still going to make a resume, but you're going to make a resume that I like to call it a fluff resume. And anything you might have done that might be somewhat related to what you're doing, put it on there. Put your previous jobs that you had, any groups, organizations, or anything that could be related. Put your hobbies on there. This is going to take up space on your resume. And then anything that could be related, so like theater, dance, prom, anything you might have worn makeup for. You can put it on there like this: theater performance 2012 applied makeup. Now maybe you didn't apply makeup on someone else, but you did apply makeup and you did do it for an event. Also put on there any makeup that you've done on like friends or family. Example, 2009 Becky Davis prom, like you did her makeup for prom. It doesn't really matter at this point what it was for. If it was, you did your friend's makeup before you went out one Saturday night, well, then it was Becky Davis special event makeup, something. Your resume is going to start out like this, but eventually every job that you do, you're going to be adding to it, and once it's full, you can start taking out the fluff parts, and your resume is just going to get better and better and better. And always remember to update it, because if you forget and like 6 to 9 months later you're like, gosh, what was that producer's name for that commercial? I can't remember. I've actually done that, and it's like a real bummer, because then you can't put it on there because you can't remember the information. Your makeup consultation form. With everything you do with brides, you're going to want to fill one of these out, and for other things like special event makeup and stuff like that too. And it's going to tell you everything that you need to know about your client. The event information is going to be on there, their skin tone, their skin type, their eye and hair color, their skincare routine, allergies, and people you're going to be working on the day of the event. Also, in many cases, you will not have a contract signed at this point when you do the consultation. So at the bottom you're going to put a disclaimer basically saying that any sensitivities and allergies must be made known prior to the consult form being signed. It is the responsibility of the client and any additional members involved to notify the makeup artist of any skin sensitivities or allergies to any skincare products or cosmetics. The makeup artist cannot guarantee the outcome of the makeup and will not be liable for an adverse reaction due to skin sensitivities or allergic reactions if not acknowledged on this form. And that will cover you from liability. This information is also going to be in the contract. The contract is going to be a little more specific, and you'll notice that when you look at my examples. The contract is going to say this, but it's also going to say that the bride is responsible for all of the full payments, whether it's from the bridesmaids, and it's going to cover you in financial areas too. These things are going to be really important. You do not want to even be touching anyone's face unless you have a consultation form signed. And cosmetics is one of those things that a lot of people are allergic to, and you just never know when it's going to happen, and more than likely it's gonna happen. If you're using high quality product, you're going to have less of a chance of it happening, so keep that in mind. So a face chart. The face chart is basically a record of everything that you did during the trial. It's got a picture of, you know, a diagram of someone's face, and you're going to write down everything you did, and that way you can recreate it the day of. It's going to be a lot faster the day of because you already know what you're doing. After you have all of your forms made, you are ready to what I call pre-building your portfolio. You are going to need a portfolio to get the higher paying jobs, and everyone nowadays will Google and search online for every service that they need. And what they're going to be looking for with a makeup artist is, where's her portfolio? I want to see her work. So what you need to do first though is you need to pre-build your portfolio. And what that means is, before you get really creative and put yourself out there to build your portfolio, I would recommend pre-building it first. And by that I mean, get your date book out and call up everyone you know and ask them to be a model for you. Call your friends, your families, your neighbors, and everyone that you can think of. Building a portfolio isn't just about your portfolio. It's going to be about your resume, your experience, and learning. Tell all these people that you call that you need them to be models, but that you also want to practice everything, including a phone consultation, a booking, a skin consultation, face charting, the actual application, and you will also need their opinion when you're done. Tell them that you want them to make up an event or you know, whatever, and have them also think of a look that they are picturing that they want. For each of these people, you are going to act like they're an actual client. And what I want you to do is put them in your appointment book. So schedule the appointment, do a consultation with them over the phone, and I want you to tell them pricing and have them talk to you about their mock event and their desired look. At the appointment, you're going to do the skin consultation, then do the makeup application, and do it as you think that they want it done. And you're going to track each one of your steps on your face chart, and after each step you're going to give them the mirror and ask them if that's what they had in mind. And you know, you move slowly through a trial, and I'll be showing you how to do a trial down the road here a little bit, but after each step you give them the mirror, and for example, you're going to get done with the foundation and you're going to say, you know, what do you think of that coverage? Do you want it heavier? And foundation's buildable, so just start out light. Some people actually like their freckles and might not want them covered up. You can have them you know, you do their brows, have them look at their brows, ask them if that's good. Maybe they'll say it's too dramatic or it's not dramatic enough. So you want their opinion after each step. While you're doing this, and this is where it gets, you know, difficult, and this is why we're practicing this. So you're going to be doing the makeup application. You're going to be tracking what you're doing on your face chart, but you're also going to be making small talk. So you're not going to be just doing makeup like right in front of somebody's face and not talking to them. So what I want you to do is try to make small talk with them. You need to make a connection with your clients at the trial, because that is going to be their first impression of you. Doing all these things at the same time isn't going to be easy, but when you get started, but you'll have to do them with real clients. So learning on your friends is going to be a lot less intimidating. But you know, when you're making this small talk, you're trying to find a connection with them, something that you have in common, something that is going to basically make you guys connect, so that she'll be less likely to say, I'm going to go with this other makeup artist, or you know, just bail on you at the last minute or something. When you're done with the application, you're going to ask them what they think. You know, is this look close to what you were thinking? You know, do you want me to make any changes? So you want to learn from all of these practice applications you're doing. So tell them that you really want to learn from your practice work, and is there anything that they think you can improve on? This is a really valid question, because you might think you're really great at eyeliner, but to everybody they have a different idea of what dramatic is or natural is, and if you need to improve on something, you need to know now before you're actually working on clients. When you're totally done, then you need to take some photos for your portfolio, and these first images are going to be priceless, because 5 years from now when you look back at them, you're going to be so surprised at how much you've grown and how much you've learned. And you'll be able to actually see that as your portfolio. You'll need to put your photos on your website and update your resume with each one, and then also add them to your physical portfolio. That completes this video, and this was part 2, and I'm going to have more videos coming out real soon on, you know, part 3, and I don't even know how many parts there are going to be, so I just keep thinking of more and more things I wish I knew when I started. But the next one's going to for surely be on building your professional portfolio, going to work, and marketing your business. I will be sure to put a link to my blog below, and I'm going to put a list of all of this and examples to help you, you know, make your own form. I will see you next in part 3 of how to become a makeup artist, and thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope you subscribe.